welcome to Arts 101. I'm your host today, Cynthia Heredia, and this is the Summer Arts 101 for July 2013. On today's show, we will have 3 segments. First up is a song from South Valley Symphony performing at Gavilan College Theater this spring. Next up, we will have a small segment of Spamalot that was performing at the San Benito stage last month. And last up, we will have our Artist of the Month, David Huboi, in the studio interview with our CMAP intern, Jaydon, Nolasco, and then we will finish it all up with our Arts 101 calendar. So up first, let's take a look at South Valley Symphony at the Gavilan College Theater in Gilroy, California. Wow, that South Valley Symphony was quite talented. And did you guys see some of the younger kids in that group? It was such a great job. I absolutely loved it. Up next is a small segment of the wacky production all the way from England. That's right, England. And it's Monty Python's Spamalot performed by the San Benito stage. Take it away.
England, 932 AD, a kingdom divided. To the west, the Anglo-Saxons. To the east, the French. Above, nothing but Celts and some people from Scotland. In Gwynedd, Powys, and Dyfed, plague. In the kingdoms of Wessex, Sussex, and Essex, and Kent, plague. In Mercia and the two Anglias, plague. With a 50% chance of pestilence and famine coming out of the northeast at 12 miles per hour. Legend tells of an extraordinary leader who arose from the chaos. A man with a vision. This man was Arthur, King of the Britons. For this was England!
country for me. Finland is the country where we dance. Finland is the country where we play. Here in Finland, boy and girl can find a true romance in traditional Scandinavian way. Slip, and slap away. Slip, slap away all day. Slip, slap, you simply can't go wrong in traditional fish slapping song. Slapping song. Finland, 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 the country where I quite want to be. Or camping, or just watching TV. Finland, 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 that's the country for me. I said England. Oh. What? Sorry.
What a wacky play. That Spamalot was quite the experience. Next up is an interview with our local musician and architect, David Huboi, from the band David Huboi and the Architectuals. David is playing many shows with his band in the Gilroy and San Benito area over the summer and fall. So let's go hear more about David and what he's up to this summer.
Thank you for joining us here on Arts 101. I'm Jaydon Nolasco with CMAP, and here today we have with us Mr. David Huboi, a local guitarist who plays throughout the area. How are you today?
I'm very fine, thank you, Jaydon. It's good to be back on this show.
Welcome back. So tell us a little about yourself.
Well, I'm an architect and a musician, and I want to also introduce my guitar, which her name is Marie. She's a 1958 Chet Atkins signature Gretsch Tennessean. And it's one of my prized possessions.
Nice.
Yeah.
How long have you had it?
Gosh, how long have I had it? A long time.
A long time?
Yeah.
So how long have you been playing guitar?
Well, actually I started off, as a young boy. I think it was 10 years old when I got my first guitar. It was a Sears Silvertone. And I started playing, never took any lessons, but I just kind of played by listening to music. I remember listening to a late night FM station, Lightning Hopkins, a country blues player. That kind of stuff. And I thought, wow, that sounds really cool. So I started, try to play blues music, and it wasn't until I was just old enough to go to a nightclub, and I went to a nightclub, the Bodega nightclub in Campbell, and a white blues player by the name of Michael Bloomfield was playing. And I talked to him a little bit during the show after he had his break there, and he said, why don't you just hang around afterwards? So my friend and I were able to stay after closing, and he let me sit on his amplifier, and he was played with a gentleman by the name of Nick Ravenitis. And I couldn't believe it that I was witnessing this, but just watching him play. And since then I got into the modern blues and started playing at the farmer's market by myself with what's called a Line 6, a loop sampler, where I play rhythm tracks and then play lead guitar over that. And then I got to know other musicians, and now I currently play at St. Luke's Church in Hollister. I play electric guitar for the services with Vince Zuniga. His wife, Amy, is our preacher, and I decided, I thought I'd give it a little experiment to play some riffs during their communion, and they said, yeah, we'd like some more of that. So we do like Taizé music, which is ecumenical chant style, meditative music. We do have our Taizé services, and it's kind of puts you in a meditative frame of mind to connect with the spiritual energy, if you will. And it's kind of jazzy, so I get to improvise on that. And since then I played with a band called the Doghouse Crew, which Cesar Flores, who's the president of the San Benito Arts Council, with musicians that he had known. We played at some events around town and some grand openings and fundraisers. from there, I've also played in a band called Luke's Groove, which is pretty much comes from the St. Luke's Church, and we do a lot of the Taizé music. And then also now I play in a band called the Architecturals, which is, and all the band members kind of play together in, you know, splinter groups, but the Architecturals, the lead vocalist and the keyboard player is Andy Leaf, and he's a project manager for South County Housing here in Gilroy.
Really?
And the bass player is Mike McKenzie, who is our electrical engineer, self-employed architect. And recently we just played at the farmer's market. His son plays an all-star jazz band named #1 by Downbeat magazine. He plays trumpet, and we're hoping to get him at future gigs. And then Kathy Bisbee with CMAP, she plays mandolin as a drummer. We're gonna jam with her pretty soon. We have trying to get together with Kathy, and so we've got some gigs lined up. The San Benito Olive Festival, and they want us to play at the rally. I don't know if will be in town then, but there's other fundraisers and events that are lined up in the future. So we're really happy to take part.
That's exciting, really exciting. So, where can your viewers contact you and get a hold of your music?
Well, that's a good question. We're hoping to get a website soon. We're still kind of in the formative stages. A lot of people just by word of mouth, they know about us. I do get requested a lot to play music. I try to balance this out with my schedule as an architect, because that does take time, and the Going Green show, which I'm a host of here with CMAP, and the San Benito County Chamber of Commerce and the church activities. But I do have, I'm very passionate about music. I've always been passionate about blues music and jazz. I'm learning less West Montgomery kind of stuff now, and we're getting into more of the jazz type of forms, and it's just that, the future is bright. I'm very, very looking forward to, getting together with not only just the Architecturals, but other musicians in the future. And so that you can I do have a website for my architecture practice, which is www.huboi.com, and you can always reach me through there until we get our music website out. Okay.
So, as a child, who were your early influences and inspirations?
Well, there was initially that was Lightning Hopkins. That kind of thing, and then I got into more modern blues with Mike Bloomfield, B.B. King kind of stuff. That kind of thing. And now we're getting into it's basically came from the blues, and now I'm getting into more of the jazz feel with Wes Montgomery, Kenny Burrell, kind of forms, and with the Taizé music was. I get to use different modes, like the Aeolian mode. That kind of stuff. So it's, I'm into also rock and roll. We do rock and roll, Rolling Stones kind of music. Santana,
Very cool.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually took a guitar class last semester at Gav. I only got to play like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. That's like the highest song I learned.
Uh-huh.
I'm
How
nowhere.
about Roll, Roll, Roll Your Boat?
I haven't learned that one yet. I want to be that good though, but
Oh, yeah.
well, that's all the time we have.
Yeah,
here
just to
today.
give you a little taste, I really appreciate being on the show.
Thank
And
you for joining us.
oh, you're very welcome, Jaydon.
Hope to have you here next time.
I will. I'd like to get the band over here. We'll do.
That'd be cool.
And we'll just kind of rock out here in the new studios.
Well, thank you for joining us, and back to Studio Arts 101.
Thank you, Jaydon. That was an awesome interview. I loved how David played some of his cool guitar riffs in the middle of the interview. So that wraps up for our Arts 101. Thank you for joining us today. I'm your host, Cynthia Heredia, and don't forget to have an arts-filled month.